Hi everyone, welcome back, and today is going to be yoga for back pain. So we're going to be working on strengthening our core and releasing tension, particularly through the lower back. It's good to note that this isn't a one practice and you fix kind of thing. You want to practice this sequence a few times and see how it feels and affects your back pain. For this practice, you will need a strap at some point. So you could use like a belt or a tie or something and just bring it to like the top edge of your mat so it's there for you later. But we're going to start lying on our back. So come on down. And we're going to start with the feet flat on the mat, and then the rest of the body just resting onto the mat. So you really feel that like the lower back is supported here. And just give yourself a moment to settle in. So if you need to fidget and maybe adjust the feet slightly, please go ahead. Hands can rest wherever feels most comfortable or natural. Let's just take a little pause in our day to close the eyes. Take a breath in through the nose. And a little sigh through the mouth. So let's check in with how we're feeling today. How are we doing? Just taking a scan through the body. Areas of comfort or discomfort. And see if we can work towards healing and relieving any pain for ourselves. So when you're ready, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Now you're totally welcome to keep your left foot bent, your left leg bent, or straighten it out, even kind of not even all the way straight, just totally up to you. And just see how that feels on the right side of your lower back. And then just have a little bit of an experiment with where that knee wants to go. For some of us, maybe more to the side feels good on like the side of the back. Maybe it wants to come to the chest. Maybe it even wants to come towards the left shoulder slightly. But see if you can be in a place where you're not over-efforting. So there's no shaking, there's no striving for any particular shape or goal. And people's hips are designed in different ways. So for some of us, this will not be available for us. Maybe you are here with the knee, even grabbing the back of the thigh, and that is cool too. Lovely. And then nice and gently, you're gonna guide your right knee over to the left-hand side, and then just open out through the right arm. So your right shoulder might lift off a bit, but see if we can encourage it down. So we get a nice twist through the mid-back, front of the left shoulder. Imagine you're breathing in through the nose and visualize you're breathing out through the lower back. Sometimes these simple visualizations can really help us with pain in the body. Lovely. As you inhale, bring that knee through center, and let's do the opposite side. So hugging the left knee in, decide what the right leg wants to do. And you might be different on different sides of the body. No one is completely symmetrical. It would be kind of weird if you were. And then just have a bit of an experiment with where that knee wants to go, to the chest, to the side. And see if you can just allow the lumbar spine to be like, against the mat. Awesome, let's go for that twist. So guiding the knee over to the opposite side, opening out through the front of the left shoulder. So relax the hand, relax the tummy. And don't worry if you don't feel like you're lying in a pretty shape. It's totally not about that. Let go of the need to hold on. And just allow gravity to kind of hold you in place. Wonderful. And then bringing the knee through center. Let's bring both knees in towards the chest. And just make some circles with the knees. So starting with an outward direction. See how that feels on your lower back. Maybe small circles is what you need. Maybe some of us want to get really big with it and you feel a slight rock of the pelvis and the sacrum. And then circle the opposite way. How does that feel? Through that mid to lower back. Wonderful. And then let's bring both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then hands onto the back of the knees. Let's take a gentle rock up and down the length of the spine. A couple of little rocks just to massage the spine. And then on your next one, see if you can propel yourself all the way into an all fours position. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Imagine the crown of the head growing forward or pulling forward, and then visualize your tailbone. Imagine someone's pulling it back so your spine is nice and flat and straight, and you feel that kind of lengthening through each vertebrae. As you inhale, extend your right leg back in space. We're going to do a little bit of core work here. Nice, zip up through the belly to really find that lower belly connection, and then float your left hand forwards. Good, finding the balance here. Shakes and wobbles are good. It means your muscles are adjusting and working. Lovely, take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring elbow to knee. Pull the belly up. This is going to help protect the lower back. Good, as you inhale, extend, find space. Back is flat. And as you exhale, round it in. Wonderful, let's go one more. Inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, bring it in. Nice. Inhale, extend. And then this time as you bring it in on the exhale, you're going to grab your left hand onto the knee, rest the top of your right toes onto the mat. And then draw the belly in and hug the knee into the chest. The chin might want to tuck to the chest a little bit as well. Breathing here. Lovely. One more breath. And then as you exhale, release. Hand comes down, knee comes back underneath the hip. Take a little swing of the hips, a swing of the shoulders if that was like quite a lot of effort for your shoulders. Opposite side. Inhale, left leg extends. So we don't want to be overarching into the back. We don't want that foot kind of high. We want just the leg kind of growing out of the hip socket. So you feel your glute engaged, and then you draw in the lower belly to keep the spine in a neutral space, so we don't like let the belly hang and the lower back hangs. Lovely. And then the right hand floats forwards. Breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee. Lift the tummy up. Lovely, strong core. Inhale, lengthen it out. Mindful movements. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. So you feel that fire, that heat created in the core. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bring it on in. Hand onto the knee, toes rest onto the mat, and then bring the knee in towards the chest, chin to chest. Lift up through the belly, breathe it here. Lovely, breath in. And as you exhale, hand comes down, knee comes down. Give your hips a little bit of a shake here. Awesome. Let's come down onto our tummy. So come on down. So the tummy is rested onto the mat. Hands underneath the forehead just for a moment. And just feel that as your front body is supported, the lower back can just find that kind of moment to decompress. Lovely. We're going to come into a back bend here. So coming onto your forearms, you want the elbows underneath the shoulder. So if your elbows aren't underneath the shoulder, you find your muscles have to do a bit more work. But when the elbows are underneath the shoulder, you're kind of propped up. You kind of don't have to use muscles so much. Now for some of us, we stay here. This feels like a good place to be. Totally stay here. It's a nice opening through the chest, and it's a very gentle back bend. We spend most of our day in a forward bend, so this is a nice counter pose for like our daily lives. Otherwise, if you feel like you're not getting all that much from it, take your hands out a little bit wider, and then we can begin to straighten the arms. Now just be mindful that you don't begin to clench up your bum cheeks here. You want to relax the bum cheeks. Pubic bone is still down onto the mat. Now if this is giving you sharp pain in the lower back, if there's like a digging in sensation, it feels like you're hitting bone on bone anywhere, come down. That's not a good place to be. It would be quite injurious. But for some of us, if your skeleton is designed in this way, even like dropping the head all the way back might feel just like delicious. So be in a place that feels nourishing for you, and see if you can differentiate between pain and discomfort. So discomfort is kind of a dull compression. That's going to be fine. If it's sharp or knife-like, that's going to be pain. So see if you can just kind of get to know your body and get to know the sensations. Lovely. Let's take a big breath in wherever we are. And as you exhale, we'll all come down to the forehead. The hands are going to just slide underneath the shoulders. Let's bring the big toes together, and then we're going to push back to a child's pose. So you're going to settle your sit bones to the heels, forehead to the mat. Or if your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can pop it on a block or a pillow or your hands. And then breathe deeply into the belly. So inflate your belly. And as you do that, you find your belly presses into your lower back and makes space for you there. Nice forward fold to counteract that back bend. Wonderful. Let's come forwards to an all fours position. And then when you're ready, tucking the toes, let's keep the knees a little bent and come into a downward facing dog. So sending those sit bones up into the sky. So the priority here is keeping the back nice and long. So if you begin to straighten your legs and you round into the back, bend the knees, send your tailbone higher, keep zipping up through the belly to protect that lower back and find a nice strong core. And then maybe we begin to pedal out through the heels, opening up through the back of the leg. Lovely. Elbows are a little bit soft just so we're not digging into joints. Wonderful, very, very nice, good. And then walking the hands back towards the feet, keep the knees a little bent. Let's come into a really dangly forward fold. So your belly's gonna rest onto your thighs, bend your knees, let your head go. And to check that your head is letting go, give it a little nod, yes. Give it a little shake, no. Maybe the fingertips stay on the mat, maybe you grab opposite elbows, maybe there's something else. And just allow gravity to kind of hold the weight of your head, pulling the crown of the head down towards the earth. Wonderful. Good, and then bringing the fingertips to the mat. Let's heel to our feet to the outside edges of our mat, big toes pointing out. And then we're going to drop our sit bones down towards the heels, coming into a deep squat or yogi squat. So I'll demonstrate that from the front. Don't worry if your heels lift off. I actually have a tutorial on this pose. I will link it in the card above and down below for some modifications. But you can pop a block underneath your bum. You can prop up your heels if you're kind of hovering and it's not very comfortable. Hands can stay on the floor or hands to heart center. Now relax your glutes here. See if you can feel that nice opening and lengthening through the lower back. So the tailbone is dropping down and the crown of the head is floating up. So our spine is in a nice kind of elongated shape. Wonderful. Smooth breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind and let's lengthen out our legs in front. So give them a little bit of a shake out if they need it after that. Good. From here, you're going to bring your feet about hip width apart, then flex your toes back towards you. Sit up nice and tall. See if you can find balance on the sitting bones. So we're not sitting on the back edge and we're not like really leaning forwards quite yet. We're balancing on those sitting bones. Flex those toes. This is where we're going to grab our strap. Even if you are quite flexible, maybe use a strap anyway because we're going to keep our back nice and flat. So wrap the strap around the ball of your foot. And then you want enough leverage on the strap that you can keep your back nice and flat. So for some of us, sitting up nice and tall like this is where we need to be. That's cool. Draw your belly in, so we're using our core, a little bit of bicep strength to pull ourselves forwards into a hamstring stretch. Now draw that belly in, using the biceps, flexing the feet. Find a place that feels nourishing on the back of the legs. And you just might feel that kind of opening through the lower back as well. So when we begin to round into the back, it becomes a different pose, which is not a bad thing. It's just not what we're going for today to alleviate that back pain. So squeeze shoulder blades together, keep the back nice and flat. Head is in a neutral place, so we're not kind of cranking into the neck. So maybe there's a slight tuck of the chin to the chest. Using the breath. So inhale for space. Imagine your waist was getting longer. And then as you exhale, draw your belly in, draw your pelvic floor up. Maybe we millimeter ourselves forwards, maybe not. Wonderful. Active in the pose, active through the feet. Breathe where you are, breathe it in. And as you exhale, come on up, release the strap to one side. You're going to bring your hands behind. We're going to bend into the knees. And then as you inhale, push your hips into the sky. So maybe here feels nice to release through that lower back. Maybe some of us want to come into a tabletop. Imagine you're balancing like a tray of drinks on your tummy. And for some of us, dropping the head all the way back feels good. For some of us, it's like, oh, hell no. So chin to chest. Be one or the other, don't be kind of halfway. Light engagement through the glutes, breath in. And as you exhale, come on down. Nice. When your sit bones hit the mat, fingers off the mat, draw your belly in, strong core work. You're really going to articulate your spine down one vertebrae at a time. So really find that core engagement. All those bits that you want to rush through, they're the bits that we need to work on. So that shaky point, take a breath there. And then slowly, slowly continue the journey down. Whew, well done. Nice. From here, let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. And for some of us, this is enough. This feels like, delicious. Let's stay here. Or we grab the back of the left thigh or the left shin and hug it in. Now, no work in the upper body. If your head and shoulders are lifting off, just grab the leg a little bit further away or rest the foot onto the mat. We want to be nice and relaxed in the neck and shoulder area. Also, if your tailbone is lifting off and you're kind of like this, see if you can avoid doing that. Keep lengthening your tailbone forwards. Wonderful. Breath in. And as you exhale, release. Let's do the opposite side. So your left ankle crosses over. And you might need to adjust on this side. No one is completely symmetrical, so just breathe wherever you're at, where feels good, where feels nourishing. The lower back is nice and supported on the mat, as is our head and our shoulders. Lovely. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, release. Let's bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, but let's take our feet as wide as our mat and let the knees drop in so the lower back is really supported. Hands onto the stomach, onto the core that we've just worked. Let's close off the eyes. Breath in. Sigh out. Lovely. Breath in, traveling from tailbone to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, breath traveling down the spine from top of the spine to tailbone. Just take a moment's pause in our day just to check in with how we feel now. If there were any poses that felt particularly helpful. And see if we can incorporate them into our daily life, our daily practice. You're welcome to stay here and rest for as long as you need. Otherwise, knees into chest. Let's take a mini little rock and roll to seated. Meeting me in a comfortable seat, whatever that might look like for you. Keeping the eyes closed. And come back to stillness. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands together at heart center. Take a moment to really, really thank yourself for carving out this time in your day to look after your body in a natural way and also looking after your mind. Blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. I really hope there were some poses and some practices in there that you found helpful. Come back to this practice as many times as you can during the week, and hopefully it will help alleviate your back pain. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.